Hey you guys, today is a very special video because I'm joined by three special guests. Please meet Kelly, Michelle, and Beyonce. Thank you so much to Adobe for sponsoring this video. I'm so excited to be working with Adobe. Basically, what they wanted me to do was to tell you guys my journey of how I got to where I am today, my professional journey essentially, and then in the spirit of just, you know, being on our grinds, going after our dreams, and being bosses, I'm going to show you guys how to make business cards using Photoshop because networking is so important and it's just a great tool to use. And who knew you could make business cards on Photoshop? You totally can. And then I'm going to turn it over to you guys for a friendly little competition, some networking business. I'm going to ask you guys to make your own business cards using Photoshop, and then I'm going to pick my 5 favorites. I'm going to ask you guys to send them to me, send those to me in my Twitter, on my Instagram, DM, slide into my DMs. I'm gonna pick my 5 favorites, post them on my Insta story, and give you guys a shout out. But first things first, how the heck did I get to where I am today? Where am I today? I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you. Let's go back to when I started college, because basically that's when the grind really started. I knew that I always wanted to be a talk show host. So I majored in communication studies and I was a journalism minor at Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles. Knowing that I wanted to be a talk show host, I was like, okay, let me just learn everything there is to know about broadcasting and the journalism field. So what did I do? I got a butt ton of internships. The first internship I did was working for KJLH Radio, which is a radio station in LA. It's Stevie Wonder's radio station. And I was working for Dominique DePrima. She heads the front page morning show. It comes on at 4:30 a.m. So I would get up I think it was like either 2 times a week. I'm pretty sure it was twice a week. I would get up every morning at like 2 o'clock to be there at 3:30 to prep the show and print out all the stuff that she needed, the weather, the sports scores, the stories for the day, everything. Get that all prepped for her, and then the show would start at 4:30. And then I learned how to use the switchboard and I got to be on air and all that, and it was great. But then I learned that radio wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. So then while I was still doing that internship, I didn't quit it because I was just, I was like, just see it out, learn, network, it's important. So I started interning for an editorial site called Wiles Magazine, and it was basically like a women's magazine. It had about health and fitness and entertainment and just an all-encompassing thing. So I would write a few different stories for them every week, and I would jump on a conference call with the editor-in-chief and the other writers, and then she would send us on to different events and stuff that we got to cover. It was really fun. I went to the Hollywood Black Film Festival, and I would go to just different pop-up shops and just really fun stuff and do write-ups on it. And she gave us a lot of creative freedom because we could write about whatever we wanted to. So that's where I kind of got my writing legs. So then I was like, okay, now I know radio, I know writing, now let me get into this hosting on camera thing. And what a lot of people don't realize, that when you want to be a host, you can't just be a one-trick pony. It's not just about talking in front of a camera and looking pretty. No, there's a lot that goes into it. You need to be able to write, you need to be able to host, be on camera, be natural, body language, all that. It's helpful if you can also edit, because if you can do all of those things, you're going to be seen as more of an asset to any company, because that means there are less people that they need to hire to do those other things. So knowing that, I was like, okay, I know how to write, I know how to talk in front of a camera, even though at that point I still had a ways to go a little bit. But then also I was like, okay, I don't really know how to edit. So let me talk to friends. Let me watch friends who do know how to edit just to learn that skill. Premiere Pro is what I initially learned on. What up, Adobe? And so I just knew all of that was going to be really important if that's something that I wanted to do. So I did it. Then I started interning for it was a digital site called Mayhem Entertainment. And basically I would just go to small carpets and interview celebs and really started doing that whole thing, which would later become my main career. Little did I know. And so that was fun for a while, and we even had a studio space. I'm pretty sure it was broadcasted on a public access channel in Los Angeles, so that was really fun. And then with all of that, one summer I was watching Comic-Con videos and I stumbled across this one outlet, and I was like, I really like their style of videos. I just really liked the way they did it. So I literally pulled up the website that they had at the time, and I contacted every single person on there, from the front desk person to the host to the writers to whatever names I could find. So I emailed them basically saying, like, introducing myself, saying that I was going to school, what I was majoring in, what I wanted to do. I sent them my resume, and I basically asked them if they had an internship program, if they needed volunteers to help out with whatever. Basically just any way for me to get my foot in the door, just to learn about that whole digital world. Not expecting to hear anything back. This was literally like over the summer, probably like July. I did get emails back from 3 different people, and they were like, hey, yeah, like, your resume looks great. Like, we'd love to bring you in for an interview. So I was like, what? I literally flew down to Los Angeles. I'm from the Bay Area, so I was in NorCal. And I was able to fly down because my mom's a flight attendant. I'm not crazy. I didn't like spend a whole bunch of money, but like, still, it was crazy that I flew down for the interview. And then at the time, the internship didn't work out with my schedule for, I think it was the fall semester. So they were like, keep in contact with us. We really like you. And then hopefully it works out in, what would that be, the spring. So I was like, okay, great. And then so that 5 months went by, and I reached back out to them, and I was like, hey, I'm still interested. This is what I've done since then. And they were like, great, let's do it. So I interned with them for 5 to 6 months. And then at the end of my internship, I lucked out and I got an interview with the 2 heads of the company. And I don't know if it's a digital media company, like, focusing on entertainment news. And then they brought me on like 2 weeks later to be a writer. And so I worked from home for a while, and they brought me in to be a writer in the studio like 3 days out of the week, because I was still in school at this time. And then I was still doing all the other ones also, but at one point I was like, okay, I need to like breathe, and I can't function with like 5 different internships and a curriculum and all this stuff. So I ended up dropping off the other ones eventually, and I was just focusing on this one and all the other school crap I had to deal with. By the way, I got business cards from all of these people so I can keep in contact with them, which I'm going to show you how to do using Photoshop, and then I'm going to have you send me your own so I can post them. And so basically through just like a lot of networking, you guys, and keeping connections and working my butt off, I ended up landing a job with them after graduation. And I was a writer at first still, and then one day we had a show called Debatable, and one of the hosts, like, the topic was like Disney shows or whatever, so one of the hosts had That's So Raven, and I love me some That's So Raven, okay? We were all in the makeup room, and I was like, oh my god, I love That's So Raven. And then somebody was like, well, Drew, do you want to fill in and do it? And I was like, okay. So I sat in, I did it. We can insert the clip here. I'm gonna let you finish, Lizzie McGuire, but That's So Raven. That's So Raven. Was my jam, you guys. But from there, they're like, oh, she can talk in front of the camera. It's like, maybe we should do this more. So then I just started like practicing more in front of the teleprompter and doing different tests and stuff. And then long story short, I became a host. Britt Robertson.
Drew Dorsey.
Anything that you binge watched this season?
Everything.
How many times are you gonna see this?
I probably see it about 22.
There you go.
22 times.
Why not?
I'm talking about on the first day it come out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how many times we go see it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thank you so much. Look at that. First time was amazing.
First time.
You're natural.
So then I worked as a host forever and still do that. But then I was like, I think I want to start a YouTube channel. So here we are, me sitting on my bed telling you guys stories about my life. I still love hosting, but I wanted to do something that was a one-stop shop for people to see my personality, because I also think of myself as a personality. That could mean different things to different people. So it was just a way for me to just have a creative outlet, basically, and like mind barf my creativity. I can write sketches, I can tell you guys stories, I can do stuff and just basically do whatever I want. And it's all really in an effort to build my own brand with my social media, and just like a different outlet to explore. So here we are, and you guys are the best, and I'm having so much fun doing this, and hopefully I can continue doing this. Regardless of what you're working toward, if you feel stuck, if you feel like you've kind of like hit a block and you're just stuck between a rock and a hard place, you're not by yourself. Like, everybody goes through that. There was a point where I was a writer and I wanted to be a host, and I was like, I can't be a host because I didn't see anyone who looked like me. I didn't really see myself represented in what I wanted to do. So I was like, I can't do that. But then I was like, girl, yeah, you can. And then I did it, and then it worked out. Some people are like, people aren't gonna like you. And I'm like, well, the joke's on you. Be confident in yourself. I know that's hard sometimes, but just do it because you're bomb. And if you believe that you're bomb in a humble way, people will recognize that and it will show through whatever you're working on. And then also, I feel like a lot of people look at people like me like influencers, whatever that means. That word has tripped me up so many times. It's like, okay, yeah, like there's a following, but it's like, I'm not Martin Luther King Jr., you know what I mean? It's like, I think like influencer is a very strong word, but whatever. They look at people who are influencers and are whatever, hosts and YouTubers and all this stuff, and they think that we have our lives together and we're balling out and like all this, and you guys, no. We're on our grinds. I'm speaking for myself only in this situation. I'm on my grind just like you are. So like everything looks glamorous, everything looks great, but it's like everybody has their ups and downs, you know? Everybody's got to work to pay their rent. Hello, Los Angeles. The cost of living is high. And also, this is where I am now, but I'm 24, you know? Like I have a whole world of life to still live, and there's gonna be so many things that are gonna change. I might change the trajectory of where I want my career to go. There's just so many ideas I have, so many things in the works that I want to do. So it's kind of like you work hard and you take it step by step and you enjoy it while you're there. And no matter how old you are, don't feel like you can't do it, like it's too late. It's never too late, and that sounds so cliche, but it's so true. You could be 65 and then still start whatever, you know. I think my biggest, I guess, nugget of advice, is just kind of like a blanket statement, would just be to keep your contacts, keep in contact with people, be nice to people, because people will remember, you know, who you were, how you treated them, all that, and they might want to bring you on for something that they're doing in the future. And just work your butt off. I know that's kind of general, but like it is what it is. It's how it works. You're not gonna get anything sitting on your couch. So that being said, in the spirit of like networking and building your own brand, hello, business cards are always super handy. Well, because I know a lot of people like social media, like you know, like we don't really need business cards, but like yes, that's true. But it doesn't hurt if you're at an event to be like, hey, would love to keep in contact. Like this is how you'll find me. So let's make some business cards on Photoshop. Okay, so you can make your business card any color you want. I made mine black just because all black, everything. I love how it looks. I wanted to put my logo on there as well as the Instagram icon, the Twitter icon, and the YouTube icon, because for me, what's most important when I'm networking with people is that they can find my social media handles. So I wanted to make sure I put that on there. And basically all you have to do is pull from Google, make sure you get a PNG image with a transparent background, and basically that makes it so you can put it on any background and it will be see-through, and so you won't have like a weird black or white overlay. And then Photoshop makes it so easy to move everything around. I'm gonna type in my contact information, and you can pick any font, any color you want, move it right where I want it, and make sure they give you these great lines so you make sure everything is centered and exactly where you want it to be. But of course I am so indecisive, so I was like, I think I want it to be in black and white. So I pulled the black and white PNG images, and see what I can do. Because it is a PNG with a transparent background, I can just slap it right on top of the one I had before, and this way it looks more cohesive. But if you would like it to be in color, or if you are more of a colorful person, be free to do whatever you want, but I like the way this looks. And again, Photoshop, honestly, you guys, you could like self-teach yourself. Shout out to my roommate Sarah, who taught me how to use Photoshop. And then after just watching her do it a few times and then just a lot of practice, got it down. It's really easy to use. Everything's, like I said, easy to move around. You're picking your colors. It's really simple and basic. So just a few trial and errors and you got it. And I want YouTube in the middle because that's what we're on right now. Move my spacing around a little bit, and then we're done. But why make one business card when you can make two? So I'm gonna make another one. Again, I'm gonna make this one black just because I love the way it looks. I'm gonna slap my logo on. And in case you haven't gathered it, they're double D's for my name, Drew Dorsey. I'm gonna go ahead and put my name as well as my contact information on there because both of those things are very important, as well as my handle. I'm gonna go ahead and pull those same Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube icons that I used on the previous card. This time I decided to make them vertical just to switch things up. Why not? And then I'm gonna go ahead and put vlog sketches and story times next to my YouTube icon because that way when I'm networking, people can know exactly what they're in store for with my YouTube channel. Move my spacing around just a bit. Photoshop makes it so easy. I'm gonna slap my contact information on at the bottom just because, you know, why not? And then we're done. Okay, so now that you guys have seen me make my own business cards, I want to challenge you to make your own business cards using Photoshop. And the 5 best business cards that I like, I want you guys to submit them to me, send them to my DMs on Instagram or on Twitter, whichever one. Submit your business cards and I will be choosing 5 of my favorites and I'll post them on my Instagram story to give you guys a shout out. And this is all just to motivate all of us to get off our butts, build our brands, and be bosses, you know? So please, please, please make those business cards using Photoshop, submit them to me so I can post them. And I love this. This is so much fun. It's like we're networking right now. Oh, crap. Okay guys, I hope you loved this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section below, and then also check out Adobe and everything they have to offer because they're the bomb, and I'm sure you guys have used Photoshop at some point. If you haven't, jump on there. Lots of stuff to explore. So be sure to come back next week because you know I have endless shenanigans for you. And thank you again to Adobe for sponsoring this video. Love you guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.